Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. And we're going to talk about Nancy Pelosi today. And so I had this idea. There's two kinds of content for this show that I enjoy doing. There's the react to stupid politicians saying stupid things, and then there's cover protests. And the protest activity that I have been seeing has been interesting, but I haven't seen anything too exciting. So I haven't been making that many videos about the protests lately. And so I decided, you know what? I'm just going to double down on reacting to stupid politicians saying stupid things, because that seems to get a lot of attention on YouTube as far as views and ad revenue. So here we have Nancy Pelosi condemning the rioters and looters. God dang rioters and looters. Like the typical white moderate, as MLK put it, that she is.
To have people, I'll go into that in a moment, but let me just say this. Before the distinguished leader spoke, the gentleman on the other side said, "Where are you when you're talking about violence, this or that?" We're there. We support peaceful demonstrations. We participate in them. They are part of the essence of our democracy. That does not include looting, starting fires, or rioting. They should be prosecuted. That is lawlessness. I'm very proud that Joe Biden has presented the clarity.
Why is she standing like that with her arms like straight out? She's like, yes? Yeah, like she looks like the fucking Nutcracker, dude. Like, Jesus Christ.
That. Making a distinction that I don't think our colleagues quite understand, but the American people do. And a poll released today said that the American people support congressional Democrats over President Trump in terms of dealing with the issue of crime.
All right, so I want to get out ahead of this conspiracy theory, and that's what the word I will use, that looting is somehow beyond the pale. That looting is just so disgusting, so despicable. How dare you, good sir or madam, advocate for looting and go through the streets and loot? How dare you? Is the typical reaction from white moderates. White moderates being racist liberals that don't quite understand what racism is, and instead of trying to work on that, they just project more racism into the atmosphere. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, riots are the language of the unheard. You cannot judge a reaction without judging the action. The action being police brutality, murdering people. If you are more upset by looting than you are by police murdering people, you are not on the side of justice. You are on the side of oppression. You are on the side of the oppressors. That is factual. You can get triggered all about it if you want. That's fine. Go ahead and leave your comments. Go ahead, go for it. Looting as a concept implies that the people looting do not deserve or do not have any merit to gaining those items, like a TV, for example. Do you see this kind of argument? Oh, I support them looting food, but a TV that they could maybe sell to get more food? No, that's beyond the pale. A lot of people like to draw lines, but these same people that are drawing these lines, maybe some of them, right, but most of them don't acknowledge the idea that corporations have been looting the United States Treasury for decades, centuries. Elon Musk has his wealth generate double. His wealth went from like 30 billion to like 70 billion over the last year. That's not looting. Making a lot of money off of government handouts and subsidies that are particularly there just for you to make money on, that's not looting. But someone going to a big department store, Walmart, and getting a TV that probably costs like $40 to manufacture? Oh no? That's so beyond the pale. This is why I do not like liberals. This is a huge distinction for me. Personally, I am not a looter. I have everything that I would want right now. However, at the same time, you have to understand that there are people out there that are losing their homes. There are people out there that can't afford their medications. There are people out there that can't afford to feed their children. So are you really going to sit there and say, oh, you stealing a television to sell to your neighbor is so bad, I can't believe it, you should be prosecuted? Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what hardship is. And if you do, then you should be ashamed of yourself, because these corporations have been stealing our money since before we were born, since before our parents were born, since before our grandparents were born. Primitive accumulation of wealth transcended into mercantilism and capitalism, which gave all these corporations an infinite head start, making all of their wealth off of the backs of slaves. And so when the ancestors of the poor, the working class, and the slave class decide, you know what? Fuck this shit. Let's take some of this back by force if necessary. Can you really blame them? Can you really sit there and say that a class of people that have been oppressed for thousands of years, taking back 0.0000001% of their wealth, can you really say that that's so bad? Like, what are they doing? What are looters doing that's so bad to you that you have to go out there and say that looting is worse than police shooting and killing people? Because there is nothing you can say. You're just a reactionary, and that's okay. We're all primed and programmed by the propaganda from the United States government, but you have to think outside of the box. If you're agreeing with the government, then maybe you should think about that. Maybe, if you're on the same side as the government, maybe you don't actually think what you think because you are smart and because you got to that conclusion on your own accord. Maybe you think what you think because of the education that you were raised on. Maybe you think the way you think because you're a drone. And I'm not trying to be rude here. Everyone can change their perspective at any time, and that's welcome. And that's embracing, on my channel at least. If you're a right-winger that slips in here and gets mad at me for 6 months, and then you say, you know what, after getting mad and triggered in the comments section every single day for 6 months, you actually do have a point, that's fine. I welcome that. No cancel culture here. But the idea that someone should be prosecuted for taking a fucking TV from a department store, come on, give me a break. You know what you should prosecute? The killer cops. That's an idea for you. Anyway, thank you for watching F Nancy Pelosi. Y'all have a good one. Peace.